Hi there and welcome back. In the last episode, we have created React components and we have made use of props to make our React components reusable for other purposes. Like we have reused the React component by passing them props like the title, the icon, and the text content of each card. Now, to show you the code, we already have it in our page.tsx where we use the expanding card twice. So, for example, we had to pass several items to the expanding card. In our work experience, we had to pass three items. The sub icon is called calendar days, the subtitle, which is the date, and the description. Now, the description is an HTML. Actually, when you pass an HTML as a prop to a component, you have to contain it inside an open and close parenthesis. And you have to also contain it within this begin and this end tags. That's what to remember. So a prop can pass an HTML code as its parameter so that you can style further the contents of your description. Like in our case, we can style different contents. They may have different styles from the work experience to the educational background. And we also had introduced a non-reusable component called My Services, a very simple component, which we also embed in our main page.tsx. Now, in this episode, we are going to create a button. A button is a very useful facility because it saves space. Now, you can also use disappearing menus, and in fact, there's a website called Prime React, okay, which contains a lot of components that you can use for your web page. So you can visit this and look at which component is appropriate for you. Now in this case, we'll create a button. Before we create that back to top button, let's create an ordinary button first. We will need to have a footer because we will fix our buttons after the footer so that it will not cover any content. Like in this case, if we try to create a button without a footer, let's try to do that. A button is created using a next link. So we are going to have to import link from next link. It's actually one of the node modules that so in creating buttons, we are going to use links. So we are going to import link from next link. It actually comes pre-installed with a next link during installation. So I have already prepared the link. I'm just going to copy it. It's a simple link tag like in the HTML. However, this is a link tag in Next.js, so therefore it comes like an HTML. So we'll put it after our right div. This is the end of our right div. This is not the end because this is the okay, because this is our main div, this is our right div. Okay, let me put a link tag. This is just a link to home. Save you the time. So it's a link tag. It's an ordinary ahref tag in HTML. That's the nearest equivalent. Let's remove the classes first. So ahref, which goes to the home page. The home page, is we know, is source.app and it will open page.tsx. Let's try to save this. Let's look at our there it is, home. The problem with this is it's not floating. We want it floating so that anytime or anywhere the user is in our web page, he can easily go back home. To do that, we'll have to put a footer so that there will be a space. Maybe we'll do that later. We'll just make this a floating button first. So So let's assign the class name. The first is fixed at bottom. Bottom 2. Okay, there's a bottom margin of 2 and a left of 6. Okay. C50 so that it's always at the top. And we'll also consider this as an inline flex. Inline flex because all the buttons should occupy one line. We don't want them to occupy individual lines. So since this is a flex row, we'd like the items to be centered in the row. Let's do that first. We'll add the other classes later. So there's the home button. It's now fixed at the bottom. And then let's style this further by adding colors, and backgrounds, and probably borders. So this is an inline flex. We'd like the alignment to be centered horizontally and vertically. And we'd like to have a hover effect. This time we want to change the variation of the color. So we'll give it a height of 10. And then we center vertically, and then we'll justify center horizontally also. You don't need a gap yet. You want it rounded, so rounded full will look good. And BG slate is the color. BG slate is the color, and 200 is the variation. Padding X, both left and right, padding is 4. Padding Y, top and bottom, is 2. Text is small, font medium. BG slate is the background color. Text slate is the color of the text. No, slate is a color variation. It's a variation of different shades of gray. We'll have a small shadow with transition colors, and we'll have a hover which will change the background to BG slate 300, which will become darker. Okay, and then I will remove the end tag, or rather quotes. I hope you follow. So we'll just fix bottom is the technique to fix it at the bottom, and the left of 6. And we made it inline flex because we're going to add more buttons later. So let's try to find out. So there it is. We want it rounded. BG background. Rounded. Rounded full. We'll change the color to BG blue. I think BG blue is more attractive. And then we'll change the hover to BG blue 600. Slate is the text color. Let's find out. So now we have this. We have a floating button. When we click home, it just goes back to the home page. Now here's our problem without a footer. It covers contents. So therefore we need to have a footer. Since our main div is a flex call, and it will convert into a flex row once extended. So therefore we can just put a footer here. It's a simple footer. We can do that using a footer tag, just like the header tag. It's a simple footer which will only display the year. So how did we fix the footer? we have a border. It will go to the bottom because it's a footer. So we have a top margin of 4, bottom margin of 14, border with the border gray, rounded, small. PX, padding of X and X left and right of 3. Also padding Y, top and bottom. So text center, remember because this is a flex call. Text SM, text slate, I think that's okay now. Slate of 500. Save this. So now we have a footer, no? So we don't cover everything. We can make this smaller. The height, and we put a height of 10. So it's smaller, it doesn't occupy any much bigger space. So if you move downwards, our floating button. Now I have already created a disappearing back to top button. I place it under components under UI. It's like a button in itself, except that I'll have to use another session because it uses different React hooks. If you want to skip that session, if you don't want to know any deeper regarding React, if you don't want a deep dive, okay, you can skip that episode and go directly to the next episode, which is about image galleries. Okay, so this is just a button, but it is disappearing and it will scroll back to the top. How do we do that? We'll just put it like an ordinary button since we already have a component. There's the component. Okay, back to top, there it is, no? Back to top. Okay, so therefore we'll just put it here in our main page.tsx. Right after the link, it is right aligned. Okay, this is very useful because when your web page grows longer, it will be easy for your user to go back to top. Like this, it's disappearing. So there's the back to top button. We have changed the color, and when he clicks, it goes back to top. Okay. So you have a button, we'll add one more button here, and then we still have that usual back to top, which is disappearing. We will explain how it automatically disappears and automatically appears when there's some hidden top portion. You can skip that episode because it will be a deep dive into React components. I'm going to show you all the codes in the description below. See you later and bye for now.